Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining our webinar on powerful document management with an Office 365 Intranet. I'm Surendra Dudani, the Director of Business and Products Development at BizPortals Solutions, and I'm joined by Anil Gursani, our Solutions Lead. Many of you are familiar with what an Office 365 Intranet is and its capabilities as a digital workplace solution. We will get into what an Office 365 Intranet for those of you who are not familiar. But in short, an Office 365 Intranet is a modern digital workplace for your company-wide document and content management, forms management, project management, and overall communication and collaboration. It houses and combines everything you're working on in one streamlined, organized place using the power of Office 365 and SharePoint. And for today's webinar, we'll be focusing on an Office 365 Intranet as a document and content management solution and how it simplifies and modernizes the way businesses and teams create, collaborate, protect, and harvest their documents, content, and ultimately their knowledge. So that is what today's webinar will be. So moving on, let's jump into the agenda. First, we are going to give a quick introduction to our presenters today and our company. Second, we'll talk briefly about document and enterprise content management because it is evolving as businesses, small and large, are shifting to a more agile, collaboration-centric, and cloud-based way of doing things. Third, we'll talk about what an Office 365 intranet is, its document management features and capabilities, and how it simplifies and modernizes the way businesses and teams work today. Then fourth, Anil will demo our BizPortals 365 product to show you what an Office 365 intranet can do for your document and content management. BizPortals 365 is a comprehensive and turnkey intranet that instantly connects to your environment, and it has all of the features that we'll be discussing. Just as a note, there are differences between other Office 365 intranet products out there. Finally, we'll end with some Q&A, so you can ask any question on what we cover. We'll try to leave a few minutes for Q&A at the end, but please ask questions at any time during the presentation. Please note that your microphone is on mute, so use the chat inside the GoToWebinar toolbar to ask your questions. Again, I'm Surendra Dudani, the Director of Business and Products Development at BizPortals Solutions. I have many years of experience with software business in product and business development, including collaborations and line of business products. I'm joined by Anil Gursani, who is our solutions lead. He leads our customer implementations. He has over 12 years of experience building and implementing intranet and digital workplace solutions. He will be providing the demo later in the webinar. As a company, BizPortal Solutions, we are a full-service Office 365 and SharePoint shop based in Orange County, Southern California, with offices in Boston and India. We have a product development team that focuses on our BizPortals 365 product and customizations, and we also provide implementation, planning, migration, and other Office 365, SharePoint, and Dynamics services. We have over 15 years of experience developing intranet and digital workplace solutions on SharePoint and Office 365, and so we are experts on these two platforms as well as the Microsoft platform as a whole. Our customers are businesses using or looking to move to Office 365. They vary across industry and size from small to large businesses. Finally, we have been Microsoft Gold partners for over 15 years as well. So what is content management? First, we are using document and content somewhat interchangeably, but really it's all about content because documents are just one piece of that puzzle. With digitization, businesses create, use, and manage different forms of content, whether it's documents, videos, blogs, you name it. So, really, we're talking about content document management altogether. Then, traditionally, content management has evolved from a more static and linear life cycle, beginning at content creation and ending at content retention and disposal. Because the pace of business has become faster, the way content is created, shared, retained, and reused has changed as well. Now, content management is more people centric, collaboration centric, cloud based, and cyclical. So, all this means is that there are simpler yet powerful and more cost effective ways of managing your content, whether you are a small business or a large enterprise. The content management lifecycle is broken down in four key stages. Create, where you create, collect, and share the documents you need and get work done. Coordinate, where you structure, organize, and coordinate and discuss content. Protect, where you secure content and manage governance and compliance with lifecycle and rights management. And then harvest, where you intelligently search, discover, analyze, and reuse content. So that is the life cycle. So with that, now what is an Office 365 intranet and how does it help businesses create, coordinate, protect, and harvest content? Well, first, for those of you who are not familiar, an Office 365 intranet is built off the Office 365 and SharePoint framework and extends it into an intranet and digital workplace solution through some development and configurations to deliver. And it delivers one, increased and more flexibility and usability so that you can organize and access things more quickly, have dashboard views, drag and drop features, the ability to more easily publish content, and much more. Two, an Office 365 Intranet delivers added functionality. So, for example, the document management and collaboration features that come out of the box with Office 365 and SharePoint are enhanced. But with BizPortals 365, we have extended the functionality even further beyond the basic intranet features with modules and features for project management, forms management, and HR and employee management, and more. So with BizPortals 365, Office 365 environment turns into a comprehensive workplace solution that helps manage other critical functions of your business. Three, it has built-in integration with Office 365 tools to bring in key functionality into one solution and one single unified experience rather than using them as separate and standalone tools. These integrations are ready to go for you to use. We'll talk more about a few of these key tools and integrations. And then four, with BizPortals 365, we have enabled the ability to integrate with other business applications, your CRM and ERP, for example, to bring in and distribute documents, data, and reports, and bring in workflows from these external systems. Then, as you can see, it is built off the Office 365 and SharePoint framework. It is really at the core of it. It directly and instantly connects to the entire environment. So imagine it as another tool in your Office 365 tool set. But today's webinar, we are focused on the content management capabilities. So that is what we will dive deeper into the next few slides. There are a lot of features across the content lifecycle, so I'll go through these quickly, and much of this will be brought to life in Anil's demo. but I'll focus on some of the key features and points. And if there's any part where you want more information, please ask. So let's start off with the first stage of the life cycle, content creation. The main features of an Office 365 Intranet here are real-time co-authoring, where you can collaborate on documents with multiple people simultaneously. If multiple people are working on a single document, there is the check-in and check-out feature and automatic versioning control to avoid multiple copies. Rather, just have one updated source of truth, which is the final version. You can house, create, edit, and easily publish and share just about any content type, from documents, company news, custom lists, rich media including audio and video, medical DICOM files, etc. This is a subtle but important point. It is easy to do for any user or admin and doesn't require the help of IT to create content and publish content. And new documents are born with templates, rich metadata and retention policies, making documents easy to manage from start. You can easily share and upload files in different ways, including drag and drop. Then finally, you can dynamically capture information that lives in an email, whiteboard, or document and upload, edit, and share it seamlessly. The next stage is coordinate, coordinating activities and common actions between people to make sure information is properly coordinated. First and foremost, with an Office 365 Intranet, you have the ability to organize your content, libraries, and lists in an easy and formalized way. You can create a richer experience around your documents and content with the ability to add custom properties to document libraries and lists. You can change views and pin things to allow people to zero in on the right content that they need. There is built-in integrations with tools like Flow to tie in orchestration around documents. You can set actions based on logic to automate common actions like collecting attachments from email or distributing documents for team or manager review. Then you have alerts and notifications around these workflows. So you can get notices when a document has reached the next step in the workflow, or if it is pending action, like if a document is pending review or approval. You can also have group conversations around documents and information and share documents within these conversations with pre-built integrations with Yammer and Teams, all within the Office 365 Intranet to streamline and organize your documents and collaboration in one place. You also have Power Apps to create custom mobile experiences based on how you want to view, customize, and interact with documents and information. In terms of protecting, securing, and governing your information throughout the life cycle, an Office 365 Intranet leverages Microsoft's commitment and long tradition of supporting these key areas. So you have the inbuilt Microsoft platform security as a whole. Then, of course, you have a robust user rights management, which is a much more sophisticated way of protecting documents, even when they are downloaded. Then, very key and important, you can centrally define, set, and automate your data loss, retention, archival, disposal, and lifecycle management policies. You can easily define and set how long you want to keep and retain your documents and what you want to do with them after a certain amount of days, etc. So, for example, you can say, I want to keep all contracts for 5 years and specify that you want to delete this content or archive it. And importantly, this is done in a no-code way. All of this is templatized, where all you really have to do is select options from a drop-down And you can apply defined policies to content by simply tagging the documents with what are called retention tags. You can centrally define these policies in one place based on content type, files, and folders. So, a very easy and automated way to manage your documents and information throughout its life cycle and address your compliance and audit needs. Then, finally, the harvest stage in the life cycle. Businesses don't stop interacting with their documents and information once they are saved and stored. So, businesses really need and quickly find, discover, and analyze their content and information, especially as they build and store content over time. You can do an enterprise search over all of the contents in all of the sites wherever they reside. And it may be a document, it may be an event, it may be a list item, or whatever you have stored in your portal. With an Office 365 Intranet, you have powerful enterprise search, as we just mentioned, and it integrates with powerful and intelligent discovery tools like Dell that understand what documents and people you interact with and brings this content to your fingertips. And it also integrates with tools like Power BI to help you visualize and understand data in a meaningful and insightful way. So this was a very brief overview of the document and content management capabilities an Office 365 Intranet has across the whole life cycle. Now we'll talk about how an Office 365 Intranet stacks up against key criteria. Cost effective. This solution should provide a quick, meaningful return on investment. It's cloud based, so the licensing costs are lower. And with BizPortals 365, we have a straightforward pricing model. Not just a document management solution, so you don't necessarily need a separate solution for your document management, project management, and communication and collaboration. No IT resources needed from setup to maintenance. We do it for you. Then, if you are on Office 365, you leverage existing tools, investment, and just getting more out of it. Ease of use. Intuitive use is a must for adoption. It provides intuitive UI with concise features throughout the portal. Flexibility. Integrations with Office 365 tools and existing business systems that you are already using. It's customizable and configurable. It's scalable as you can continue to easily add and organize content and teams as you grow. You can keep on adding as many teams as you need. Robust search. We already talked about the powerful enterprise search capabilities of an Office 365 Intranet and the content discovery and curation with Dell. Mobility. Cloud-based so that you are able to access documents and information anytime, anywhere, on any device. Collaboration, the ability to multiple users to view and add their contributions to a single document in real time. We talked about the co-authoring and social collaboration features already. Security, the solution should restrict who can see specific documents and secure your documents and information throughout the life cycle. Should provide multi-level role-based security and lifecycle management, audit control, and data encryption. All of this is provided by Office 365. So as a document and content management solution, an Office 365 Intranet meets all these core criteria. So now we look at the market data for document and content management products. As you can see, there are many documents and content management options out there like Box and DocuWare. Microsoft is evaluated as a leader in content management for businesses large and small. by the prominent Gartner and Forrester. And this says Microsoft, but it really is talking about Microsoft Office 365, SharePoint, and OneDrive as it relates to content management. And an Office 365 intranet brings all of these together with pre-built modules and tool integrations and extended usability and functionality to bring the full power of Office 365 together in one cohesive workplace solution. So hopefully you now have a good overview of what an Office 365 intranet is and what its document and content management capabilities are. And with that, I will pass it over to Anil for the demo of our BizPortals 365.
Thanks, Surendra. Hi, everyone. My name is Anil Gosani. I'm a solutions lead at BizPortals Solutions. So today we are talking about powerful document management features, and I'll just share my screen here. Hoping you can see my screen. So with a document management capability built into SharePoint, it's obviously the biggest question is, what do other products do with that document management functionality? Well, the answer is that we make sure that the usability of the features plus the extension that we build of those features, really enabling your business to really have a powerful platform for approvals of documents, sharing, co-authoring documents, searching for documents, and then as Surendra mentioned earlier about archival retention, DLP policies, and so on, right? So we are here now to just see some of the features. Again, if you do find that there are some features you would like to look into more, please go ahead and schedule a one-on-one demo with me, and I'll be happy to walk you through those. But let's get into the core of our powerful document management features. Okay, so this is our homepage of BizPortals 365, and basically here you can do a lot of things. Again, in terms of information distribution, consumptions, business process automation in terms of digitizing of forms, a lot of things one can do, but let's just focus on documents today. So on our homepage, as a user logs in, okay, you could essentially get a view of all the recent documents that have been uploaded to the portal. Now, this is great. There are a lot of mid-sized organizations with 10,000 plus documents. There is recent one, at least that have been uploaded, you have access to. You can start seeing them here. Quickly, you can start following them, and say, okay, I'm going to come back to these. Let me follow these documents and mark them right here. So great way to do that on the homepage. Also, as soon as you do these, you can go and really look at this section up here on the homepage. You can follow the documents that you just clicked. They are going to be listed up here. You can click on it, get to them quickly. All right. So very simple thing, but it's really effective in terms of getting to the right documents. Okay. Then moving on to talking about an integration of BizPortals 365 really with all of the Office apps. So in terms of document management, really all document libraries that are part of a site. And in this example, it's Employee Center. You see there is a library called Employee Center Documents, and you could have multiple libraries for a site. So we are talking about one. So all document libraries are pretty much integrated into your OneDrive. Okay, so in OneDrive, if most of you, I'm assuming, are familiar with this, you have your left side top navigation for your own OneDrive, but then you see all the document library that you have access to. And we were looking at Employee Center Documents here. So it's fully integrated. So through your OneDrive, you can get to your intranet documents very easily. You can obviously interact with it right from here. So you could start sharing the documents right through the OneDrive interface. You can set up flow for workflows from here on the document. You can look at version histories. So very powerful integration built in. Okay. So going back to our Employee Center. So for documents now, here you see this is a view of the Employee Center documents, as easy as flipping to other document libraries either you can do it location based or others. You can do all of that here. But essentially with this document library, you see there is views that you can build, right, for your users. So a great way to build those. For example, if you just want to see all the policy related documents, you could just click on it, and now you'll see all the policy related. You can flip back to all documents. So all of these columns, essentially, you can manage using manage grid columns. Great functionality. So for each and every document library, you can enable or disable the grid columns. Really get to those right here. Let me just, and then you can sync these, obviously using OneDrive desktop. You can have this on your desktop or the whole document library. You can sync that. You can upload new documents right here. And for each and every document, obviously it inherits permissions. You can set it to inherit permissions from the core, but outside of that, you can see recent activities on the document. And let's see if this one has some. It might come up or maybe not. Wrong document, I guess. So in terms of recent activities on a document, you can see those. You have some more options, right? We also have now, it's a great feature of document approvals. So essentially you can approve or reject a document, take it through a workflow cycle, and I'll quickly just explain how it's done. Again, for details, you can contact me. So in terms of a document library, I could go here and say that I want to look at let me go to another one. Let's say a marketing department here. So I want to go ahead. This is a full page view of a document library. And I said, I want to define some workflows for this library. Okay. So I go to the approval workflow. You can quickly see we have serial workflow, parallel workflows here built in. And this is just fantastic. It's not available in products, and not that simple to set up. So let's say I want a serial workflow. And I say, okay, I just want one person. So what that really means is one person is assigned for every document that comes in this document library. We need an approval. So I've defined the approver in case it's the same person because you're going through a demo. I'm going to give the task because every time you create a workflow approval cycle for it, it will come up as a task for the person. So I'm going to prefix it by saying this is from the marketing department, and I'm saying this is for approval. And I say I want to give a due date for the task because I want this done. I would appreciate if my manager could do it. That's okay. It's going to be 7 days. Now this is usually done at the admin level, at a power user level. So everything is set for the document library. Save this. There are some other options. Again, we can, if you want details, we can get into those. But essentially, once this is set, now documents are dropped in here. There could be that every time a document is dropped in, it could just trigger the workflow, or you have dropped documents here. You can come here and say, this is already for approval. So let me try and take another document. Okay, just a minute. So I'll go here and I'll say, okay, this is a document for approval, and I'm going to start the workflow right at this point in time. And the workflow is started. As you remember, there was a serial workflow. It was one person, and you can see that this has been initiated. Now it's to the same person again for demo purposes. So basically, you go to your home page. In your new task, you see these new tasks created for you. It's marketing for approval. There's a document name. You can click on it. You can get to the document right from here. You can see the due date, and you can approve or reject the document right here. Okay, and so a great document approval built in. You can essentially, and we moved on to the marketing department basically, but essentially any department or team side, you could set a lot of approval cycles here. A case in point is for let's say you're publishing material to your web or other external components. You want to take it through a good approval cycle. You don't need another tool. You can just use our portal. Our document library is right here, right? And you can use that. So that's one of the great functionalities in our product. Now, outside of that, For documents, obviously, you can set permissions. So as I said, on the document library level, you have permissions, but you can set it, um, and you can also view it, permissions here, and then set it for other people. You can share this document. Okay, send an email invitation, include a personal message, and so on. So you can share it with external sources. You can also go ahead and look at recent activities, and then let me just bring up some more here. Version history of the document, great way to see all the versions. Right now, the latest one is at the top. You can always move this around and have the latest one show up. Make an version, previous version active also. And then in terms of moving, copying, these are standard SharePoint things, but you can move, copy these documents to other libraries, copy a document link, send it via email. And one of the key things here, just I want to let all of you know is, in terms of storing documents, if some of you have already read in for SharePoint how it's done, whether it's folders, files, well, we accommodate both. So you could create folders and file structure in a document library, but you could just drop files directly, okay, into a document library. And generally, there's always been an issue with SharePoint, which we have overcome in terms of the search functionality. Because if you search, if you create folders, put metadata around it, it's around those documents, then search becomes difficult. Here we have built-in search, where basically if I'm going to search for, let's say, a term like Office 365, so I type that in. We are given that functionality. You can search the entire library in this library. That is just on the content or all metadata you can, or on the current folder, again, all metadata or just through the content, right? So we have given you this extended functionality for search, but it's really great. You can just search quickly for a title and quickly you get the search result. And after that, you can do the same kind of things. You can move this document and so on. Now, one more thing I would like to bring up in terms of integrations, right, for documents. So we have DocuSign integration. Again, I'm not going to go into every detail here, but for e-signatures, we have that functionality built in right here. So you can take a document, go to DocuSign, enable it through DocuSign, send it to someone for signatures, get it back. All right. And so all of that is available here. Again, for any details, you can please get hold of us. We can go through that. Okay. So now for documents, we went through OneDrive integration. The other thing I'll show you is My Site. Okay. So My Site basically is a personal dashboard. And here you see my documents listed here. Right. So now this is, you must be familiar with this view. This is just like Microsoft Delve, very familiar again for people, so that across Office 365 they should see a consistent view of things. So you see all these documents here. Now the ones that you're following, you can quickly get to those. It gives you all the metadata, all the properties here of the document. And let me see if one of these we can preview. So here is the Word document. You can quickly preview it here. Great to get to these quick. Recent documents, you have trending documents, all of that shows up here. So you can work with all of this content. Now, this is about documents. It's about really focusing in on a specific document type, but just let me also tell you in terms of content, right? So content could be, news announcements on an intranet. You're designing new pages. You have list items that you create, or you have media. So again, a quick digression that in terms of content, you could really park videos here, again, tightly integrated with Office 365 Stream, right? So you can bring those videos, external videos. You can search for this information, have some metadata, and then search across this content also. All right. So just wanted to let you know that. All right. So I was saying in terms of the documents, coming back to this, that the way this works is you could author documents. So, when you go to a specific library, you can, let me move out of this search. So you'll see all documents. So you could create a new document. So invoke Word, right? Word Online, and basically bring that up, and you can start authoring a new document. So you don't need to invoke it separately. It's all connected. You could, create folders from here. You can browse and upload documents. So all of that functionality is right here. If you remember, we went through these settings. This is where you assign categories and so on. So let me just quickly tell you, this is one of the main things in terms of metadata. You see the category column here. So you can define categories at a global level in our product and then bring it in for every document library, right? Enable it, disable it for document library. So when you're bringing in documents, you can then assign categories to it. Similarly, you have subcategories here. So great way of organizing all your documents and making sure it gets in the right buckets, right? Then in terms of permissions, you can see who has permissions to this document library. Also, that, whether it's inheriting permissions from a parent site or not. And then you have the list of the permission types and the groups, right, which have those permissions. So you can edit that here. You can define custom metadata properties. Obviously, we provide you X as out of the box properties, but you can define your own metadata here. And it could be a couple of types, text or choice type. And again, if you want to talk more around this, because this is an extensive topic in terms of organization of your documents, please get hold of us. We'd be happy to work with you. We have gone through the approval workflow, right? So I went through this. So serial or parallel workflow again. All right. So with this, I'd like to say that these are, document management key functionalities in our product. And the way you would really think of all of this is really through, let's say you are migrating, you don't have, Office 365, you have some local file structures, you have maybe on-premise SharePoint. Please get hold of us. We provide services. We can advise you in terms of getting you set up with the right document, migration strategy, best practice, how to set it up. We can definitely work with you. But once you get deployed with BizPortals 365, you have really all of these powerful document management functionalities. So with that, I would like to conclude at least our description of the document management features. Let me go to a couple of Q&A. I saw some questions pop up, so let me go through those and try and answer those. All right, so the first one is in terms of what's the pricing of this tool. Well, list price, if you go to our website, bizportals365.com, the list price is $15 per user per month. Obviously, with extensive functionality that you saw here, plus project management, plus other features that we have. So our list price is $15 per user per month. We provide a large volume discount, and we have special rates for nonprofits and educational institutions. Okay, so again, we can work with you. Let's see that. All right. Okay. Second one is about how do you do migration? Okay, of metadata. So basically, again, with we provide services. We can work with you. We can look at your data structures. Either you have it on your file that is network folder structure, or if you have it on SharePoint on premise, there's already metadata there. We can take a look at that. We can advise you how to set it up. And sometimes, if you have at least a very high number of documents or a very complex structure that we have to migrate, we can certainly use some third-party tools that we have partnerships with and make it really easy. If you have a large set of data, we can definitely do that, help you do that. So again, get hold of us. We do provide all of these services. Okay. Third question that I'll take right now is, how do you okay, so the third question is, how do you integrate information with other systems? Well, Okay, let me answer that. So if you have, I would like to know more information on this, but if you do have ERP financial systems, again, with a lot of data, documents in it, or some other transactional data, CRM systems, we definitely integrate. We can bring in information one way or two ways. We can definitely integrate documents, maybe set up some workflows where, documents stored Microsoft CRM, maybe it triggers off an action on an intranet or moves the document or copies it from one place to another. Certainly, we can do that. All right. And okay. So I think in terms of the other questions that are out there, we'll definitely get to all of those in time. Again, I just want to go back quickly. We have a couple of minutes left. So I'll just quickly tell you about our portal. So outside of document management, again, we have information publishing, information consumption in terms of news announcements, in terms of alerts, alerting all your employees, in terms of having a calendar for everyone. It's great. You can have a people lookup directory. You have some forms that we provide out of the box. So there's so much of value for BizPortals 365 that outside of document management, really we provide all of these key functionalities. So please continue attending our webinar series, and we'll walk you through all of these one by one. We provide a great employee center, so great for HR to publish all the information for employees and for employees to consume that. As you can see, the structure is very simple, and you can do all kinds of information sharing. You can in fact have your employee onboarding set up here and get all your employees to read, new employees to read through all of that. Then we went through department sites like the marketing department here. We were focusing only on the document library, but very quickly, this gives you again a way to manage tasks. And all of these things are customizable. So task, action items, you can set it up yourself. And you can do effective project management. Okay, so we haven't touched project management. Again, if you're interested in that piece, we do offer webinars. We do offer one-on-one demos around that. So please come and get hold of us. All right, with that, I would like to conclude this. Thank you all for attending and hope to talk to all of you soon. Thank you.